everybody to the garden walk and plant sale today. It's a little windy, but it's not raining today. Got a lot of plants. The Master Gardeners putting this on, and we have grants throughout once a year. We give our money. We have gardens, flower beds through St. Genevieve. If you're interested in becoming a Master Garden, contact the Extension office. I think there's a class coming this summer. And we hope it don't rain.
That'll be up here on Market Street?
Yes, Extension's on Market.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
All back up there. I don't think it's one of the monarchs.
Well, these particular variety or whatever, it says shade, and if it says shade, that's what they want. But I have seen others varieties that says sun or shade. But that one didn't say shade.
Hi.
You all get
I appreciate it. How much tonight?
in there somewhere.
Welcome to St. Genevieve.
Oh, you saw it, so you did see it? Oh, I've seen it all day yesterday trying to get it. And, so then. He just loves you now. So then when I got up this morning, one of those, water was full of dirt, was fully turned over. And I don't think it got in, but it wasn't the last. I thought if it got in, I was gonna block it in and let it out, but then build it out.
I'm still busy working here. think they're worse than that. Why so deep? Yeah, that's just it. Almost looks like somebody took like an auger on the side. I did not do that. That's strange. Good idea, yeah, before somebody steps in there and rolls an ankle. Don't do me. Oh, wow. Really? I don't want to get in the picture. No, that's okay. No, I don't either. My mom today of all days. This is the local TV. Yes. Fellow media. Ah, yes. chopped dried herb or diced fruit. Oh my gosh. They're delicious. Wow, this is just always so pretty. Are you a gardener too?
I'm a terrible gardener.
You are? Well, you don't have to be because you'll come and do
Well,
it.
I'll never live up to this, you know, and how
Well,
can
that's
I even
true.
start?
Knock down before you get going.
I'm raising my son. I love, you know, lots of domesticated gardening and that sort of thing.
But really, just tell your mom you want to put a garden and there you go.
I know. Yes, we'd love to have her down for this part of it. Well, you should.
Oh. They do have to have something on the menu because they're a local thing. No, no, they don't taste like liver at all. Oh. Sure. Whenever you want to say. Since 19, I moved back in 84 and bought the house in 85.
What is this with the white flowers on it? Is that like a maca?
It is, absolutely.
I can remember that from my childhood.
We had one out at the farmhouse that was across the road, the gravel road, where we waited for the school bus.
Oh, you're kidding.
And it was a single blossom one like that. They were hard to find.
Well, that's what I was thinking the other day. I thought,
And I don't remember where I found it. It would have been in the mail. That's detrimental to a garden.
Well, I don't remember what and where you were.
Oh.
no, they'll say, you did that and you're going to get arrested. Is that a nest in the ground that I'm seeing over there? A nest with the bird? And I saw that you had the strawberries covered with the birds. Yeah. Well, your garden is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we did. We won, yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
That's hot.
Gallagher from Land Apologics, and I'm a beekeeper, have been for a few years now, enjoying it thoroughly. This is a virtual hive so that we can bring it out into public with no chance of anyone getting stung. And this is just a mock-up with pictures of what a beehive looks like inside. How the bees are structured and how they work. For instance, this is a frame showing both honey and brood. The brood being these darker spots here. These are larvae inside that in the stages of development. You see these white spots, this is actually larvae that's not capped off yet. They're hatched eggs, they're growing, then they'll be fed for a few more days by these worker bees, and then they'll be capped off like these are, and then they'll be allowed to develop on their own until they emerge. This right here, this lighter gray color, and in the upper corner, that's actually some honey they've developed, and it's part of their feedstock. The bees will usually develop about twice as much honey in a year as they need, and we harvest that residual for our own use. Here's a bigger section of honey. Some hives, or some frames, this is called a frame, this will be completely covered with the honey as you see it there. They get very heavy, and this deep size frame, this is called a deep, this will contain, when full of honey, will be between 1.5 and 2 quarts of honey when it's extracted. And these, as I say, are all worker bees. They're all female. There will be a few drones. I don't see any offhand. Those are the only males in the colony, and they're only for the purpose of becoming a daddy. So they're only golden alive, and they're the only bees in the colony that do not have a stinger. The queen has a stinger. All the others have a stinger, but the males do not. And so again, just another frame of this. Now I think there's a frame over here showing, yeah, this one is, they're developing a full range of honey in this one. And this, you see, you may be able to see some bright spots here. That's actually honey that's in developmental stage. It's being dried out, allowed to dry, and then when it gets down to the correct percentage of moisture, they'll cap it off and seal it. When we harvest honey, we want it all capped. We can take as much as 85% or 15% of this uncapped honey, and it won't ferment in the bottle. But above 15%, there's too much moisture, and we won't harvest that. But that's how that works. And here's a frame that's in the very early stages of development. This is all open for them. But here you see honey on the outside. The queen, I have a picture here of a queen, if you can see it, and she is the only one with this extended length on her body. And she's the only sexually mature bee in the group. And they only allow themselves one queen in a colony. If more than one queen, she'll kill it, or some of the others will kill it. And they have a pheromone, a smell, that they put out. And because each of the bees feeding her, and then each of the bees are touching each other, that pheromone goes through the entire colony. And so if there's a strange bee that comes in, a strange queen that comes in, then they'll know that and they'll attack her. Now, if she starts getting weak, if that pheromone gets weak, they'll sense that and they'll start developing another queen. They'll take a newly laid egg, put it in a larger cell, and feed it and let it grow for several extra days. And that's when she develops this extra maturity length. And that's, as I say, she's the only mature, fully mature insect in the whole colony. And then she will come out, and there may be, they call those queen cells that they grow in, and there may be 2 or 3 of those queen cells in the colony. But the first one that comes out, emerges, will attack and kill all the others. So it's just built into their system. And you can see the difference in not only in her body length, but she has this shiny back, and a drone he's not this long, but he's bigger, and he has a very shiny back, and he's all eyes right here. Very, very distinctive in his look. And because the drone has no stinger, that's who we practice picking up, and we learn how to pick up bees. So that's basically how it all works. They're all born as worker bees, and they all grow into different aspects of beekeeping, or bee life. There'll be nurse bees, guard bees, bees that go out and search for food product. There'll be the harvesting bees, that's not the official word we use, the bees that go out and get pollen on them and bring it back. And they do a dance on the entrance. When they go out and search for bees, they'll come back, and that bee that's found the source will do a dance right here on this landing board. And all the other bees are watching, or some of the other bees are watching, and the strength of the dance, the vitality of it, tell them how strong the food source is, and then somehow he transmits the direction of where it is and how far away it is. And so if he's found this great big clover field over there somewhere, he's coming back and telling them about it. And then they all go that way. And there'll be 2 or 3 of them say, well, I found something over here, I found something over there. And they say, well, I like that one better. So they all go that direction. So it's fascinating. I don't speak the bee language, but it's fascinating to learn about it. I've been in it a few years. I've known people who've been in 30 years. They're still learning too. So it's interesting. We have people that develop queens for us. I just bought some new queens to revitalize mine. I saw some weaknesses in the brood pattern, different things, just things I wasn't real happy with in the colony. So I called a friend of mine who develops queens, and he sold me 3 queens, I believe it was. And we came back and we put that. And to introduce those, they come in a little wooden cage. It's a wood, just about this size, a wood box. It's got 3 holes drilled in it, fairly large diameter, then interconnect, so it makes a chamber in the middle. And he puts a wire screen on each side of that. And then there's a hole in the end of each end of that he fills with sugar candy. And so then he puts the queen in there, and you put that in, you spread these frames out, push it in, and then squeeze it together so that the wax that's on those frames holds that container, as the queen is protected inside. Earlier I said there were pheromones that queen puts out. And if there is no queen in the colony, which when I put her in, I found the other queen that she's still alive and took her out. In much the sense that the gangster would use the phrase, take her out. And so there's no queen in here other than this one in the cage. And I'll leave that in there for a matter of days. And by that time, and when I first put her in, they're vicious. They're biting at the cage. They want at her. But by the time I come back 3 or 4 days later, they're tender. They're feeding her. They're not standing there with their wings up and their back up. They don't have that vicious demeanor about them. And so at that point, I'll help drill. I have a wire that I'll drill a hole in the sugar candy, and then they'll start eating that out, and it get big enough, and she'll finally emerge. The sugar candy traps her inside for a matter of days, and then at that time they're used to her. They've got her pheromone out in the colony, and then she's at home at that point. Fascinating it is.
Can you explain the smoker, Harold?
Yes, I use cardboard. I just put some in this morning. I just cut in my bandsaw at home. I take a used waste cardboard, clean. I don't want a bunch of ink and a bunch of fiberglass tape or anything like that on it, and just cut it in 3/8 strips. Then I roll a strip up, put it in, and I have a propane lighter that I light that with, and then toast it pretty good, get a good glow going. Close it off, and then I puff it, and it just blows air through it and out here. And just a puff of smoke. Now it does not make them think that the hot colony is on fire. They live by pheromone. Remember that a bee colony is dark inside all the time. They don't have light in there, so they go by feel, sense, pheromones, they do all that. And so this just confuses it. So when I open a colony up or a hive up, I'll open this, and there'll be all kinds of bees on the top of this. They'll come out and say, what's going on, what's going on? Well, I'll smoke them just lightly, puff them, and then you'll see them just go back inside. They just go away from the smoke. They're confused. They want to go back to who they're familiar with. And so, you don't sit there and hose them. You just puff them. And then sometimes I'll go away and do something else in another colony over here, and then come back, and by that time they're settled down. Sometimes you have to wear the full bee suit that I have here. Other times I'm wearing no gloves, anything like that. I always wear glasses. You don't want them around your eyes in case one gets mean. But I get stung all the time, and we've learned it is healthy for us. So it's a good thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.